Hello everyone, this is AndresRestart, and today we are talking about how Nintendo just teased hidden secrets in the Mario Galaxy movie. Now, what kind of secrets am I getting at here? I'm talking about the origins of Princess Peach, how it connects to Rosalina and her origins, but also the potential inclusion of some significant characters that have yet to have been revealed. Perhaps characters from the Pikmin series, or the Star Fox series. I know, it may sound crazy, but looking at everything we got during Mario Day yesterday, MAR 10 March 10th, there were actually some pretty significant things that came out that are providing some really interesting hints about what may be going on. We got the Mario Galaxy Movie Direct with the final trailer, and also some choice words during that presentation, but also we got new trailers for Yoshi and the Mysterious Book and Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 Edition, and in there are some interesting details that actually seem to be fueling some really interesting theories we have about the movie that would include inclusions of Pikmin and perhaps even Star Fox. As crazy as that sounds, I know, I've been talking about this Star Fox idea for a few weeks already, and with this final trailer here, I was actually thinking we would perhaps finally see Star Fox, and he was not revealed here. So admittedly, his lack of a presence in the final trailer definitely diminishes my hopes in this crazy theory being proven true. The whole reason why we started to buy into this theory is because we did see this character from one of the Mario movie ads, and we still don't know who this is. This final trailer did not provide that answer. So the question still remains, and with everything that did happen yesterday, all the teases and hints that came out, I think it does paint a very compelling picture that there are still some really cool, interesting secrets that have yet to be revealed about the movie. So that's what we're diving into today. Now, if you do find yourself enjoying my videos and you haven't subscribed already, I do have this goal to reach 60,000 subscribers. We are inching ever closer, so I very much appreciate that subscription, liking, and commenting also help out a bunch too. So just stick with me here, because we're actually talking about multiple theories that may be connecting here. So firstly, let's talk about Princess Peach, and this goes back to the first Mario movie. In the first Mario Bros. Movie, Mario and Peach have this heart-to-heart moment where Mario wonders if Peach is from his land, and we get this explanation that Peach just found herself in the Mushroom Kingdom. She walks through a warp pipe as a baby, and the Toads raise her and make her their princess. But when questioned about where she may truly be from, she talks about how there's a lot of worlds and galaxies in the universe out there. Which at the time, when we saw this movie back in 2023, we thought, that's maybe a subtle reference to the Mario Galaxy games. But as it turns out, it wasn't just a reference, but actually foreshadowing for the next movie, the Mario Galaxy movie. And this point alone I find extremely interesting, because it highlights this plan Nintendo has had for some time, where they've been forward-thinking about their projects here. And I do think this ties into something I bring up a lot in my videos when trying to predict and theorize what Nintendo's planning next. Their cross-promotional strategies. You see, you look at something like Donkey Kong, for example. Donkey Kong saw a new design that was introduced in the Mario Galaxy movie, and Donkey Kong played a significant role in that movie. And so this led us to believe that Nintendo would be doing more for Donkey Kong in the not-so-distant future. The Mario movie was a reintroduction of the character to the world, and so what did we see shortly afterwards? We saw the opening of the Donkey Kong expansion to Super Nintendo World, we saw Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, we saw this new design employed for the character in various games, such as Mario Tennis and Mario Kart World, and the big one, a brand new Donkey Kong game, the first 3D Donkey Kong game since Donkey Kong 64, which released back on the Nintendo 64, which was Donkey Kong Bonanza, the second big title to launch for Nintendo Switch 2. And so the Donkey Kong element is just one of many ways I think Nintendo plans to use their cross-promotional strategies here to boost their different Nintendo IP and give them greater success. So going back to the whole Galaxy element, we were actually thinking that the Galaxy games would be introduced here in a big way. The end of the Mario Bros. Movie in 2023 did tease that Yoshi would be in the movie. We saw a Yoshi egg about to hatch, and now we know that Yoshi is a prominent new character in the movie. which led us to theorize that there would be a new Yoshi game coming out around the time of the movie. We are getting Yoshi and the Mysterious Book on May 21st, just a few weeks after the release of the Mario Galaxy movie on April 1st, and also, as predicted a couple years ago, we would be getting a remaster for Super Mario Galaxy 2, and we got that this past October, as also a bit more cross-promotion for the Mario Galaxy movie. It all works together. So just keep this whole cross-promotional strategy thing in mind, because I think what it shows is that Nintendo has had a forward-thinking plan here, and they piece in certain things in certain places because it's all about building up different IPs so they can be involved even more so and have more success in the future. Which brings me to a very mysterious thing Nintendo did a few months ago, back in October. The Close to You short film released by Nintendo Pictures, the first Nintendo Pictures project. So at first Nintendo revealed the Close to You short film, and it was about this baby playing around in this room. The mother gets called away by the doorbell for some mysterious reason, and then there appear to be some invisible forces that the baby is interacting with in the room by itself. And so this happened, and a lot of people were speculating on what was going on. If you were following this channel at the time, or if you had similar ideas like me, you would have noticed that the music in the Close to You video was Pikmin music, so we theorized that the Pikmin were the invisible forces. And soon after, Nintendo released another version of the Close to You short film that had all the Pikmin in there. And so they confirmed that the Pikmin were the invisible forces. But you see, during this period of time, the mystery inspired so much discussion, so many theories about what may be going on. And at the time, I did not believe this part. So I'm not asking for any points on this, other people theorized on this, but people saw the baby and noticed that the baby had some toys that were space star related. The baby had on blue clothes and had greenish blue eyes, and when looking at the hairstyle, there were people who were theorizing if this could possibly be baby Rosalina, and that maybe this Close to You short film was a little bit of promotion for the Mario Galaxy movie. I did not believe the theory at this time, because I just didn't think there was enough evidence, and I sort of assumed the baby was a boy because it was wearing blue clothes, and not light blue, but kind of like a darker blue. And typically with babies, if it's a girl, they're going to wear pink. If it's a boy, they're going to wear blue. Of course, that is just a tradition, but also in the eyes, I didn't think it was a complete perfect match, because the eyes are blue-green as opposed to blue, and there wasn't really anything else that was hard referencing Rosalina, and Nintendo didn't really make much mention of that. And at the time, there was almost kind of like a debate that this short film was about the Mario Galaxy movie versus it being about Pikmin, and it's been confirmed that it is about Pikmin. But now, looking at things, what if it was about both? What if this baby does tie into the Mario Galaxy movie? And you might say it's kind of crazy, but check this out. So in the latest Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 Edition trailer, we actually see Rosalina, who is added in to this game in the Switch 2 Edition to promote the movie, obviously. That's more cross-promotion there. We've seen that they've actually added in Pikmin to the game. Pikmin are in Mario Wonder now. We can see this shot right here where there are Pikmin from Pikmin 4, the Pikmin you play with in the night, in the background where Rosalina is. And so this is a really interesting cameo that they just added in there. Mario Wonder came out a couple years ago, back in 2023, a few months after the first Mario movie. There were no Pikmin there. Now, we have seen that Nintendo likes to add Pikmin in randomly to different things, like there are Pikmin littered throughout Super Nintendo World physically, which is really cool. So it's possible they just wanted to throw in more Pikmin cameos here, but this is a Switch 2 edition, so them adding it into a Switch 2 edition, which is being used to help celebrate Mario's 40th anniversary and play a role with all the cross-promotion tying into the Mario Galaxy movie, it definitely gets me thinking. You see, with the Pikmin Close to You video, while I acknowledge there are similarities in terms of character design here, and maybe the baby is somehow related to Rosalina, if not being Rosalina herself, I needed a little bit more evidence. But now with this latest Mario Wonder trailer, them showing new Pikmin from Pikmin 4 that also came out back in 2023, that have been added in this scene with Rosalina. That's a very interesting thing that's kind of going on there. It's something that we know officially from Nintendo, where there is a link between Pikmin and Rosalina, which actually now all of a sudden strengthens the theory that Rosalina might be involved with that Close to You short film that may have actually been kind of like a little bit of a teaser for the Mario movie. And you know, this goes deeper. It's not just this. So taking a look at the Mario Galaxy Movie Direct, here, Chris Meledandri from Illumination says this.
Now, there's plenty more to discover when you see the film in theaters. Some big surprises and some very small.
After revealing that both Wart and Queen Bee would be in the Mario Galaxy movie, and also telling us a little bit more about Yoshi, Chris Meledandri here says that there are going to be even more surprises in the movie, both big and very small. He makes that an interesting point of emphasis, very small. And what's interesting about that is that if you're trying to advertise and hype up the movie, you're usually not going to say, oh, there are going to be some very small surprises in the movie. That takes away from the excitement from the hype, unless it's actually teasing something else, something more specific, something like the very small, very tiny Pikmin. So if Pikmin are going to be in the movie, if we are seeing that there are Pikmin cameos in the same scene as Rosalina and the Mario Wonder Switch 2 edition that have been added in, and we have this Close to You short film where there's a character that looks kind of like how a baby Rosalina would be, tying into Pikmin, perhaps this is all connected here. That baby did have some toys referencing the stars, the galaxies. And you know, in hindsight, while the baby was wearing blue, maybe that is just the blue of Rosalina, and the baby's mother's eyes are more blue as opposed to blue-green, so perhaps it will change in color as the baby grows up a bit. But the baby is wearing a pink binky. And I have to admit, a pink binky, you would usually probably give that to a girl baby. So, maybe that baby was a girl after all. Maybe that girl is somehow tied to Rosalina. Now you might be saying it's gotta be Rosalina herself. Maybe it is. But maybe it's not Rosalina. But instead, it's Princess Peach. You see, Rosalina and Princess Peach clearly share some similarities. They both have blonde hair, they both have the blue eyes, they're both princesses, they wear crowns. But just looking at their hairstyles, while we're looking at the sides, they both kind of poof out very similar to the baby, which is interesting. The front part actually looks more like Peach's hair and not Rosalina's. And obviously we're going to learn about Rosalina in this movie, but it's in the prior movie where they established the mystery of Peach's origins. So what's going to happen when Peach meets up with Rosalina? Will Peach learn something about her past? Will she find that she's actually linked to Rosalina? Some people theorize that maybe Rosalina is like her mother. I don't think Rosalina is being depicted as that mature of a character. Not so much more so than Princess Peach. I'm actually going to theorize that they're actually kind of like maybe sisters. Maybe Rosalina is like a bigger sister. To me, that makes more sense. Now, how does this tie into the Pikmin? Perhaps the Pikmin are related to how they got separated. Maybe they are family. It's hard to say for sure, but it's just interesting how it seems like all of this is connected. And to add even more fuel to this fire here, in the Close to You short film, it is a point of emphasis that the mother gives the baby the pink binky. And looking at the origin of Princess Peach, when they talk about it in the Mario movie from 2023, it's also a point of emphasis where baby Peach gives her pink binky to Toad. So they both have pink binkies. They both do look different, but perhaps they're simply using different art styles here. And if Pikmin are also going to be in the movie, and if they are being teased, then maybe this crazy theory about Star Fox could also be involved here. Reminder, we have this character to the left, which does not look like a backpack, which does not look like a motorcycle. It's clearly a character with a blaster at its side that has a long sleeve, with a bracelet, with a jacket, with boots on, in pants. The uniform looks very much like Star Fox. Of course, this is a Mario Galaxy movie, so it's kind of hard to believe it would be Star Fox, but it's not just a Mario movie, it is also a Galaxy movie tying into the stars in space, and so if Nintendo's going to be including Pikmin in here, and Chris Meledandri is not only teasing some very, perhaps physical small surprises, but big ones, maybe Star Fox is a big surprise. And to add even more fuel to this fire, there is actually another character that got confirmed as part of the Super Mario Galaxy movie. The face of the Gateway Galaxy information booth, Rob. That's right, Rob, the robotic operating buddy, the 1985 accessory for the Nintendo Entertainment System, who's also in Smash Bros. By the way. He's in the movie, and he's also the guide for the Gateway Galaxy website, the official website for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which also teases several other galaxies that will be discovered. There are some you can check out, but there are 3 more at least that they're showing that are going to be explored in the movie, seemingly as substantial settings during significant portions of the movie. What might those entail? But we at least know for a fact that there are non-Mario Universe characters that are being incorporated into the movie here. It's obviously hard to say with extreme certainty here, but what has been made clear from everything official, there are tons of characters and references and so many different things that are being added into the Mario Galaxy movie. And we know with the prior Mario movie, there were lots of references to other Nintendo IP, they just weren't directly involved with the story. So it would certainly be a step up to see both Pikmin and Star Fox involved with the story in some way. I have theorized that Captain Toad obtains that red scarf after being inspired by Star Fox, who also wears a very similar red scarf. Toad does not have this in the first Mario movie and at the beginning of this Mario Galaxy movie. He dons the red scarf at some point for some reason, perhaps because Star Fox is somehow involved. Again, I understand, it's a crazy theory, we shall see, but clearly there are some interesting things going on here, clearly there are some interesting teases, and it seems like Nintendo has more in store to surprise us when we finally get to watch the movie on April 1st. But what do you all think? Let me know in the comments below. This is AndresRestart, thank you so much for listening and watching, and I will see you all really soon. Take care. Bye.